Hey guys, welcome back to another Imagine 4 tutorial. In today's video, I'm going to be doing another jump scare tutorial on how you can have a ghost spawn at the end of this hallway and it's going to run off. So you're going to walk through, it will spawn, you continue walking closer to the ghost and it's going to run off. So I'm going to show you how to do that now and I'll show you what this looks like. And also in this video, I'm going to be using the Edith Finch house and common areas, which Epic Games have released for free on the marketplace a couple weeks ago. So you can download that as well and use all this. It's got some great stuff. So like I say, I'm going to show you what this looks like now. So if I just play from here, we can see that if I walk into this area, the ghost has spawned in there. And if we continue going forwards, it's going to run away like so. And now the jump scare sound effect is kind of delayed, but that's just because of this sound effect that I've chosen. There's a little gap at the front. And you can see he has ran away, the ghost ran away, and it's no longer here to see either. So like I say, we're going to be creating this today. So let me delete the code and show you how we're going to do this. So what our first step is going to be is we want to import all of our ghost skeletons, our ghost mesh, and our animations that we're going to use. So the ghost mesh which I'm using is just a quick one which I made in Adobe Fuse, which I'll leave a link to in the description down below so you can download and use this as well. And then also the animations I've got off of Mixamo. So I've got an idle and a walk. And again, these are for free on Mixamo. So once you've imported all of that, well, and also I've got this jump scare sound effect as well, sorry, which will also be linked in the description down below as well. So once we've done all that, what we want to do is we want to create our ghost blueprint. So a very easy way of doing this is we're just going to duplicate our character blueprint. So I'm going to go to Content, Third Person BP, Blueprints, Third Person Character. I'm going to select that and I'm going to hit Control C to copy it. I'm going to go back to our ghost folder, which is here, and I'm going to hit Control V. And now we've duplicated our Third Person Character blueprint. I'm going to hit F2 to rename that. I'm just going to call this Ghost BP, like so, and open it up straight away. And this is just a very simple way of creating an AI. So now we have an AI blueprint here, which we can mess about with. So in here, we can just delete everything we don't need, which is all of this code here. We don't need that. We don't need the cameras, and like that. So we just get rid of those and these base turn rate and base lookup rate. We don't need that. Now, if we compile and go to the viewport, what we want to do is we want to change this mesh here. So if you select the mesh, we can change the skeletal mesh from SK Mannequin, which is obviously skeletal mesh mannequin. We're going to change that to be our female ghost 1, or just whatever you have. So this is the ghost character which I am using. Now we're going to set up the animations in a little bit. What we're going to do first is just finish up this blueprint. So in here we're going to compile, and if we select the character movement and then we search for max walk speed, here we can change how fast it's going to move. So by default it will be 600, but I'm going to set this to be 300. So it's going to move at a speed of 300. Again, customize this for however you like, but that's how fast I want it to be, and you can just mess about with this to get it perfect for you. Once you've done that, we can compile, save, and minimize this, and we'll come back to this once we set up the animations. And in actual fact, we can set the animations up now. So what we're going to do is we're going to right click, go to animation, and we're going to get an anim blend space 1D, or just blend space 1D, setting this to our female ghost 1 skeleton again. So just the skeleton for your ghost. I'm going to name this idle walk BS for blend space, and open that up straight away. And as it sounds, this is going to be the blend space from going from our idle position to our walking position for this ghost. So it's very simple. All we need to do is just drag in our breathing idle, or just our idle animation there, put it at the very start to the very left, and then our walk we'll put at the very right. If you hold down left shift, you can see that going between these two values, that's what it's going to do. So it's going to be idle and it's going to walk. So now we need to set up when we want to do this. So on the axis settings up in the top left up here, if we open up the horizontal axes here, we can change the name to, let's say, speed, as obviously we want to do this dependent on the AI speed. The minimum value we'll leave as 0, as obviously they're not moving. The maximum we'll put as 300, as that is when they are running. So when they're walking, it's 300. And again, this is just going to be the speed that you set in your AI. So in your character movement here, I set it to 300. Whatever you set that as, put that in the maximum value there. And then we can leave everything else the same. This is literally all we need to do in here. So we set it up so that when the speed is 0, it'll be idle. When it's 300, it'll be walking. So that's perfect. So we can save and we can close that. So now what we could do is put this in an animation blueprint, which would just allow us to have more than one state. So if you wanted to have idle and walk and run and jump, all that, you could do that in a blueprint. But I just want the idle and walk. So what I'm going to do is open up our ghost blueprint again, select the mesh. You see you have animation here. We're going to change animation mode to use animation asset. And the anim to play is just going to be our idle walk blend space there. And that is all we need to do. So now we don't even need to calculate the speed, as it should do it for us automatically. If we were doing a blueprint, we'd have to do it manually, but we shouldn't have to do it now since it should do it automatically since we're in the blueprint itself. So we can just compile and save that. and that should now be good. So now let's minimize this, and now let's set up actually spawning the ghost and moving it and all that good stuff. So what we're going to do is we're going to create 2 box triggers. So you can see up in the basic on the top left here, we have box trigger. I'm just going to drag and drop that in there like so. And this first one is going to be where you want the ghost to spawn. So not where you want it to spawn, sorry, where you want the player to be for the ghost to spawn. So I want the player to be at the start of this hallway here. So I'm just going to move it in a bit like that and just cover the size of this doorway gap there. So this is where the player is going to be for the ghost to spawn. So I think that's going to be good. The player will walk through this doorway and the ghost will spawn. Then if I hold down Alt and drag from this, I can duplicate that to get another one. And this is where the player is then going to be for the ghost to start running. So I think there should be good. And coming near to the end of the hallway, so near where the ghost is standing, that should be good for that. So this is those triggers set up. So this is where the player is going to be for the ghost to spawn and where the player is going to be for the ghost to start running. So now what we want to do is we want to go to the blueprints up at the top here. We want to open level blueprint. And this is where we're going to do the code in the level blueprint. So we're just going to find some space down here, double click this to minimize it. And what we're going to do is we're going to select the first trigger box here. And then we're going to, with it selected, go back into level blueprint. We're going to right click and we're going to search for begin overlap, add on actor begin overlap for the trigger box that we have there. The other actor we're going to cast to, and this is going to be our character. So for me, that's the third person character. And we're doing this so that it is our player character which triggers this box trigger. So that should be good. Cast to your character there. This could be third, first, or whatever you've named it. After this, what we want to do is get a reference to our AI. So we're going to minimize that a bit again, like so. I'll minimize this all the way this time. And I'm just going to put in the ghost down here. So I want the ghost to spawn there. Place in your ghost blueprint where you want it to spawn. I think that's good for me. Once you've done that, we're just going to go back into the level blueprint here. We're going to right click and we're going to create a reference to ghost BP there. Out of this, we're going to simply just set actor location, plugging that into the cast there like so. So we're going to basically move the ghost to be there. Now we could spawn it here, but that then creates some issues with the code later on. So it's just easier and more efficient for us just to set the location to be there. Now this location, we obviously want to just be this location. We just put the ghost in here. So this is where I want it to spawn. This is where I'm going to do it. So if I just move into here like so, so we can put in the new location here. What I'm going to do is simply just copy and paste these location values into here. So the X is 160, I'm going to select, hit Control C, go into the X, hit Control V. The Y is 740, Y is 740, the Z is 126, Z is 126. Like so. And now we can see this is going to spawn in the correct position for us, and this should work great. So that is that part done. This here is going to spawn the ghost at the end of the hallway in front of the player. So this should be good. Compile and save that. And actually, what we also want to do is play a sound effect. So let's also come off of that and we'll play sound 2D. And I'm going to put the sound as the jump scare sound effect, which I have like so. What I might do is open it up and just set the start time to be 0.2, just so it cuts out that little bit at the start. So that should be good. You don't need to do that if you don't have a little gap at the start of your sound effect. But if you do, obviously mess about with it to get it perfect for you. So like I say, this is that part of the code done. It's going to spawn the ghost in front of us. Now let's do it so the ghost is moving. So what I'm going to do for that is minimize again, select the other trigger box, go back to the level blueprint, and I'm going to do the same thing. So right click, and then begin overlap. This is add-on actor begin overlap, but for the second trigger box we have now. And then again, other actor, we're going to cast to our character, so cast to third person character, like so. This time, instead of setting the location, we want to use an AI move to. So we're going to use this reference again, so I'm just going to duplicate it down here. We're going to come up with that, and we're going to get an AI move to node, like so. Actually, no, we'll just right click and get AI move to instead, like so, plugging that into the cast there, the pawn being the ghost blueprint we have there. The destination, we're going to do the same thing. So we're just going to move our ghost to where we want it and use that as the destination. So we'll minimize this again. So I'll minimize this all the way and move the ghost to where you want this to end up. So this is going to be the ending position of our ghost. So I want it to be just around the corner like so. I think there's going to be good. So what I'm going to do is just then copy and paste the location over again. So go back to level blueprint, find this destination, then put in a location. So that's -30 on the X, 230 on the Y, and 126 again on the Z, like so. Maximize this again, and you can see this is now going to work perfectly. So it's going to move the AI or the ghost to this location, and again we don't need to change anything else. Again, after this, we're going to once again play sound at location. You don't need to do this. If you don't want, I'm just going to play sound 2D with this being the jump scare sound effect again. So it's just going to have that little jump scare. You can have a different sound if you want, or no sound, it doesn't matter. Do whatever you want. Then this is the part you do want to do. After on success, we're going to simply destroy actor. So actually we'll come out of the ghost BP and destroy actor like so, plugging that into the on success there. And what this is going to do is essentially, after the ghost has finished going to the position it wants to go to, it's then just going to get deleted, so it's no longer there, so the player can't see it anymore. And that should be good like so. And actually what we also want to do is just destroy this box collision as well, so that the player can't continually do this. So we could destroy it, or we could just get a do once node. So what I'm going to do is just select all this and move it out a little bit, hold down O, left click to get a do once, plugging that into there like so. So it's just in between this code. And what this does is what it sounds. So it's only going to allow the player to do this code once. Once it's done it, we can't do it unless we reset it. But we don't want to do that. We only want this to happen once. So this should now work for us. There's one final step, but this is the code done. So when we walk into the first box trigger, it's going to spawn the ghost in front of us and play a sound effect. When we walk into the second trigger, it's going to then tell the ghost to start walking to the final destination and play a sound effect. And once it gets there, it's going to destroy the ghost so we can no longer see it. So like I say, that's the code done, so we can compile and save all that. And the final step is we just want to add a nav mesh bounds so that the ghost can actually move. So to do that, we're going to go to volumes, nav mesh bounds, and just put this in here where we want it. So we want the ghost to be walking in this room. So I'm just going to basically fill it up to be the size of this room pretty much. So we know that the ghost can definitely walk around in here, and this should work perfectly. So I think that looks like a good size. A good way to test it is by hitting P on your keyboard. You see these green lines. These green lines is where the AI can walk. So this is good. It's going to spawn there and walk down here. That's good for me. Hit P again to hide that. And now what I'm going to do is just move this ghost to be out of the way so we can't see it. So I think somewhere over here should be good. So then it'll get spawned where we want. But for the moment, it's out of the way where the player can't see it. So I think that's going to be good for me. So now we can test this. So if we hit play, well, actually, if I play from start here, so if I right click, play from start, that would be better. Or play from here, sorry. What I'm going to do is we can walk over, go into this box trigger. It's spawned in there. That worked perfectly. If I continue walking forwards, it's going to start walking away. Now, what you saw is that didn't actually play the animation. That only played the idle animation. So we didn't have a walking one. So let's have a look at why that happened. We just didn't finish the code. So if we go back to the ghost blueprint, so ghost BP there, open full blueprint editor. It might just be easier for us to actually just do this in a blueprint. So we're going to do that. We're going to do an animation blueprint. So we'll minimize this because it's very quick and easy to do. What we're going to do is we're going to right click and go to animation, and we're going to get an animation blueprint there with the female ghost one skeleton. Hit OK. I'm just going to call this ghost anim BP for animation blueprint. Open that up straight away. This output pose here, we just want to have as this idle walk blend space there. Plug that in there. And now you can see we can actually set the speed. So what we couldn't do in here is we couldn't actually tell the blueprint what the speed was. I assumed it would do automatically, but it's apparently not. So let's now define this. So you can see here we have speed. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the event graph here. Out of try get pawn owner, we're going to cast to ghost BP, plugging that into the event blueprint update animation there. As ghost BP, we're going to get velocity like so. The return value of that, we're going to just vector length like so. And then we'll right click the return value of that, promote to variable, call this speed, plugging that in there. So now what this is going to do is it's going to actually just calculate the speed of the ghost. Now if we go back to the anim graph here, we can just plug this variable of speed into the speed idle walk blend space there. So now if we compile, save, this should work a lot better for us now. So if we go back to the ghost BP, select the mesh, we can now use animation blueprint and use our ghost anim BP that we've just created there. Compile, save, and now like I say, this should work. So we close and hit play to test this again. So I go over here, right click, play from here. This should work better for us. So you can see we have the box trigger there. The AI ghost has spawned in. We walk forwards. It's going to walk off and it has the correct animation like so. And we can no longer see it anymore. It has disappeared. So that works perfectly. So I think that'll be it for this video. Is we've done everything we wanted to do. We've created a ghost blueprint and a ghost jump scare in which when we walk into our first box trigger, which is at the start of this hallway, it's going to spawn in the ghost then we walk forwards towards the ghost, it's going to then run away. So let me show you again. So there you go, it's spawned in, continue walking forwards, and it then runs away like so. And again, you can customize this completely, so you can change the sound effects, have no sound effects, you can change the speed at which they run away, the animations, the look of it all, completely customizable for you. But thanks so much for watching, I hope you enjoyed and I hope you found it helpful, and if you did, make sure to like, subscribe down below. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.